you spent specific time looking around the vehicle, the front, and specifically in the cab of the vehicle, and that to me...
I've only got a few pictures, I'm just getting the right ones, I'm not...
Videos of the whole thing, I've been watching you, I've come downstairs.
Yeah, it's just a video, and there's YouTube as well.
But why?
Why not? There's no reason why not, is there?
Why specific interest in that vehicle?
It's not just that one, I just said I'm going to go and get the others, all the other marked vehicles and pictures and stuff.
Okay, but to us, do you see why that might be of a concern? That someone's taking specific note about vehicles and police transportation? I'll be honest with you, I'm concerned about your actions and your behaviour. Because you're very, like I say, you're very sort of defensive and very sort of...
I've got 3 police people stood here. 1, 2, right, well... Yeah, that's what I say, just pictures for Flickr.
Right, so can you give the colleague your details then? So it protects you at the end of the day, doesn't it? Because if anything ever does come of it, or we've got any concerns, we can say...
Nothing's going to come of it, I'm not doing it, I'm just taking some pictures.
But you also need to understand that people don't always tell the police the truth, yeah? Especially if they have something to hide or something they don't want to know about.
What starts out looking harmless quickly turns into one of the most troubling examples of authority creep we've seen this year. This isn't a chase, a tip-off, or a suspicious incident. It's a man standing in public, legally photographing police vehicles, something that is explicitly lawful. Yet within minutes, that simple act is reframed as concerning behavior. Watch closely how the language shifts. There's no allegation of crime, no specific threat, no intelligence briefing, just discomfort. And that discomfort becomes the justification for pressure, intimidation, and ultimately the invocation of counterterrorism powers. This case matters because it shows how easily routine encounters can escalate when officers substitute feelings for facts. Stay focused, because every step of this interaction exposes a dangerous pattern in modern policing.
We know who you are. We need to know who people are on a daily basis, don't we?
Yeah, but I don't want to be on the system though, as a...
You're not going to go...
Whatever.
It's just a person. You take details every single day of the week. That's our job.
Yeah, if they're like under suspicion of up to no good...
What about that? You need to understand that it's very people by asking these questions. Yeah? And you're not really giving us an answer.
I have done. I'll give you an answer straight away.
We've the details so we can verify it all. That's all we're asking.
I've told you what I'm doing though.
Right, but I'm not happy with what you're saying, Matthew.
Great.
To be honest.
This moment is critical. The officers openly admit they see no crime, yet they interpret Matthew's discomfort as suspicious. Think about the power imbalance here. 3 uniformed officers surrounding 1 civilian, demanding explanations, questioning intent, and repeatedly asking for personal details. Nervousness under those circumstances isn't evidence of wrongdoing, it's a human response. But notice how that response is flipped against him. His discomfort becomes the justification to push harder. This is where policing quietly crosses the line from observation to coercion. When officers begin treating emotional reactions as indicators of criminality, they lower the legal threshold to nothing more than, "I don't like how you're acting." That's not law enforcement, that's subjective authority, and it's deeply dangerous.
I don't think so. I'll be investigating this if you do not tell me your name.
Counter-terrorism, you only need a collar number.
Collar number? I'm not a terrorist though, I'm taking pictures of the police vehicles.
It's under terrorism legislation,
Regards to the search, as I've explained, okay, your furtive nature.
So your PC 1639 and your name is please.
No.
You need to state your name.
No, don't.
You do need to state...
Pay close attention to the language being used here. Help us help you. We just need your details. It protects you. These phrases sound cooperative, but they're doing something else entirely. They're reframing a voluntary request as a moral obligation. In UK law, officers can't demand personal details unless there's reasonable suspicion of an offense. And they've already said there isn't one. So what's happening? This is compliance psychology. The officer isn't relying on law, they're relying on social pressure, authority presence, and implied consequences. It's subtle, it's effective, and most people cave at this point. That's why this moment matters so much. It shows how rights aren't usually taken forcefully, they're slowly talked away.
I'm going to ask questions as to why you didn't... We need to keep the public safe.
I understand that. Yeah? You've got to ask questions as to why I'm doing it.
Safe. That's what we do. We serve the public and we keep them safe.
What's your current address, Matthew?
You can pause that now, you're going to give that, aren't you?
Alright, well, I'd rather not give that then.
Right, okay. That's the keys, isn't it?
So I can ask you, Matthew, to not to do this anymore.
I'm allowed to do it. You've searched me. You've unlawfully searched me.
It's been an unlawful search.
It has been an well, we'll find out about that.
Video, you've been nice as pie and understanding. As soon as you're back on your video, you're starting.
This is the turning point, and it's a massive one. Without articulating any specific suspicion, an officer escalates straight to Section 43 of the Terrorism Act. Let that sink in. That power exists for situations involving actual suspicion of terrorism. Not photography. Not refusal to provide voluntary information. Not nervous behavior. This isn't a minor procedural error, it's an extraordinary misuse of authority. Civil liberties groups have warned for years that counterterrorism laws would be stretched into everyday policing, and here it is, caught on camera. When extreme powers are used casually, they stop being safeguards and start becoming weapons of convenience. Ask yourself honestly, if this qualifies as terrorism suspicion, then who doesn't?
But
You're an editor's view, aren't you? Because it's not a
no, I will start it from the very start till when you arrested me or detained me.
You're going to publicise Matthew. All I'm saying is the reason why we stopped you talking today is an issue of public safety. So that's all you need
Right.
to understand.
Well, I will state. No, I will state it's unlawful, and I think you'll find out very soon that it was. All three of you have acted unlawful.
Public safety becomes the catch-all shield here, and that's a problem. Notice how the officers repeat it without explaining how Matthew is endangering anyone. There's no threat identified, no risk articulated, no victim protected. Just a phrase. This is a classic accountability escape hatch. When actions can't be legally justified, they're emotionally justified instead. But safety isn't a magic word that dissolves civil rights. In law, safety must be grounded in evidence and proportional response. Here, it isn't. The irony is that the only thing escalating risk in this situation is the officers themselves. This isn't about protecting the public, it's about controlling a narrative that's slipping out of their hands. Now we see the hypocrisy laid bare. Officers demand transparency from a civilian while refusing transparency themselves. Under UK policing standards, officers are required to identify themselves when requested. Matthew asking for names is lawful, reasonable, and expected, especially during a stop that's being recorded. But suddenly, the same officers who insisted on his details shut down. Why? Because accountability becomes a risk when authority is misused. This is the exact moment public trust collapses. Policing legitimacy depends on openness. When officers hide their identities while exercising power, it signals they know the encounter won't withstand scrutiny. This isn't confidence, it's damage control.